Hi, hello friends, and welcome to today's video.
Hello everybody, and today I wanted to say the reason my little model isn't here is because I am on vacation, and so you just get little animated drawing me. Yay! But for this week's video, I've been having a lot of art block, and so I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, and I eventually came up with the idea of redrawing some old art. I know I've done it a million times on the channel. I'll do it a million more times. It's like the sky being blue. Mia's redrawing old art. But I decided to redraw it in a different lens. Instead of just drawing the character that I like, the same character, but like with my improved art, I decided to draw the picture if I would to have come up with the idea now. Just because I wanted to draw my character Opal and me now. Instead of just drawing a random character in a swimsuit at the beach, I would have drawn Opal at the beach. And it's still the same thing, basically. I've also been having kind of like an art style crisis with my rendering. I'm not sure where I want it to go or how I want it to be, so bear with the rendering and the painting style. I'm still trying to figure myself out in that regard. I've been figuring it out for years now, but we're getting there. So for this first one, you saw my little reference. I know you can use the reference panel in IBS Paint. I'm just old school, and I like to paste it physically in my canvas. And so I did that, and then I copied that one Miku figurine with the Miku pigtails because that's kind of what Opal's based on. And Opal's gone through a lot of changes within the last few weeks. She got a haircut. Oh my god. But I decided that this would be a good time to try giving her a haircut. I didn't know if I liked it, but I actually like it a lot. So that's probably what's gonna end up staying. Before me coloring this, I decided to do flats, and then I was like, oh, let me do this. And then I was like, I hate this. And then I was like, let me use the selection tool. And you're going to see me fiddle with the selection tool like it's an Olympic sport, because that's what I did. It took me 2 days to draw this. And for some people, yeah, this would take you 2 days to draw. But for me, this would take me like 6 hours to draw. To put in a retrospect for how quickly I can draw. I fiddled with this thing for probably 8 hours, just messing with how I wanted to render it, which is not normal for me, and it was irritating me. And I couldn't figure out what I wanted. So eventually, I figured out how I wanted it to look, but it was very, very painful, and I do not recommend. Because I was like, but the skin tone and the undertone, because when you shade a skin tone, especially when it's really pale, you have to think of the undertone, because you can either have a more yellowy undertone or a more red undertone, which kind of conveys the actual skin tone of the character, which makes, it doesn't really make sense, but, it can, do you have a more olive undertone, or do you have a more red undertone? That's what that shadows mean. And olive is supposed to be, albino isn't the exact word I would necessarily use. I forgot what the word was, but it's a lack of melanin. It's the one where you have a lack of melanin, but it's not a full lack of melanin, because she doesn't have the red eyes. But I forgot what it's called, but she has that. Because she's deformed in a lot of ways from her, species. They're not supposed to have the giant wings on their head. They're supposed to have small wings, and they're supposed to have wings coming out of their backs. But she stayed in her cherub egg for too long, and that's what happened. But it's fun to draw. So yeah, for this, once I figured out how to do the skin, I moved on to the wings, which is why I was talking about that. I got an opal texture, and I just overlaid it, and then I used a selection tool, and I shaded it just with multiply, and I added some texture, but the opal texture kind of did all the work for me, at least for this drawing. So I didn't have to do very much for that fact. I also tried doing what a lot of artists do, where they make the farther thing lighter, and I think this worked really well for the outside, like the beach. I normally make the thing farther away darker, but I was trying to experiment more with this piece. And then at the very end, you'll see, sorry if this made you upset the entire time, I drew the hand. I drew the hand back. I'm sorry, I'm laughing thinking about this. I drew the hand backwards and I didn't notice till the very end. And I was like, there's something wrong with this drawing, right? There has to be something wrong. I hate this drawing. What's wrong with it? I show it to my friend and he's like, you're in your head, Mia. And then I post it to my friend group. What's wrong with this? Mia, the hand's backwards. Anyway, so I fixed it. But I thought you guys would be interested in hearing about my little side quest that was irritating. Okay. Or irritating for me. It's probably funny for you guys. But for the next drawing I did, there are two on my old DeviantArt in this art style, where I did it like a chibi style with like this blendy painty, and so I just did both of those. For those, I drew Opal as a little kid going to school for the first time, because I didn't feel like drawing like a schoolgirl outfit, making it like how I used to, because I didn't realize the moral shame of drawing a schoolgirl outfit in a revealing way. And so now I don't do that anymore, or at least me personally, I don't really do that anymore. So I decided to make in like a younger Opal, again, because I don't really draw random characters for the sake of it anymore. As much as I used to, I will literally sit down and design a character just for one drawing. And so I just drew Opal again as a little kid because I thought it was funny. And her little tiny head wings, and she's upsetty spaghetti because I thought it was funny. I've never drawn an angry little kid before, and I don't know if I'll ever draw an angry little kid again, but this was fun. But yeah, basically I drew her in that. I don't think that is the Japanese preschool uniform. It might be. I don't think it is, but I know it can be used for elementary school and high school. I think. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, correct me. I'm not going to redraw this, but I'll admit that I'm wrong. But essentially, it's her first day of school, and she's not happy about it, and that is the synopsis of this drawing. But I had a lot of fun drawing it. I won't lie. It was a lot of fun, and I like drawing her with longer hair. Like she maybe did a big chop at some point between being a little kid and an adult. I also, the proportions kind of messed me up, but I figured it out. So no fret. This one did not have a backwards hand incident, but I drew her with the Japanese backpacks. I don't remember what they're called, but those really nice ones. I drew her with a sign that she was forced to hold up that she just wiped it on the ground like a little kid would do. And then I drew her with her little head wings all fluffed out. The idea with those head wings is whenever she is disguising herself as a human, they turn into pigtails. So but when she's upset or angry, they will fluff out and turn into her actual wings. That was the idea with it. I haven't never drawn the pigtails because the wings are just cooler in my defense, but that's basically what would happen. Yeah, I drew that. I tried more of a watercolory style with this drawing. I don't think I did it as, I think I did a more watercolor on this. I think the first one looks more for rendering, it looks more technically impressive. But I can't tell you how I did it really, other than I used a bunch of brushes and I prayed. There wasn't any real rhyme or reason behind that. This one I can tell you what I did, which is basically just I colored everything. I made her everything in the line art white. I duplicated it, I clipped the clipping mask, and then I used my custom brush and I colored everything in, and then I used a multiply layer with the watercolor brush that IB's Paint has, and I shaded everything properly. I blended the places out. And that is how I shaded and rendered this thing. Oh, and highlights, but that's obvious. But that's how I shaded this thing, and that's kind of how I made it look like the way it looks. And I do like the way it looks. I just wish it had more detail in it. because I don't like detailed like line art, but I like not detailed rendering, but like painted rendering, like rendering with almost like a purpose, like painting rendering as like you have painted a shape and you are literally carving out what that shape is. I really enjoy doing that, but I'm also don't know how to do that very well. But I digress. That's like a whole different conversation. But yeah, I had a fun time drawing this. I wish it could have been more, but also for what it is, it's amazing. So I'm not gonna be like, nah, 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 nah. I'm not gonna pick at it forever. But yeah, I wanted to thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys. This upcoming week is gonna be a surprise. It's also gonna be my birthday. If you want to give me an early birthday present, like, subscribe, maybe like and subscribe, and I will. I'm so sorry. I will be having an announcement soon. You will see it. I want to keep it a secret, but I think you guys will really enjoy it. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.